Good morning. We will start session 2 on chapter friction. In our previous class, we understood what is a friction, what are the factors which will affect for the cause of friction and different types of friction. In today's class, we will understand friction, a necessary evil. What is this necessary evil? It is necessary to us, though it is a evil to us. That means we want friction, but though friction is harmful, but still friction is required for our day-to-day life. How is it? Let us understand how friction is a necessary evil. That means what are the advantages of friction and what are the disadvantages of friction. Advantages of friction. Knowingly, unknowingly, we come across this situation in our day-to-day life. For example, are we able to comfortably walk on the floor, on the wherever it is, and at your home, on the road, in the ground? Yes, we are able to walk comfortably. We will go with this in detail now. Are we able to hold the things, whatever we want to grab it? Suppose if I want to just grab this pen and hold in my hand, am I able to hold it? Yes, I am able to hold it. Am I able to hold a pencil or a pen in my hand and write it with a good grip? Yes, I am able to do it. Are we able to fix a nail on the wall? Yes, we are able to do it. Are we able to stop or start the object or the vehicle? Yes, we can do that. When we strike the matchstick, will the matchstick ignite? Yes, it will ignite. Are we able to construct buildings around us? Yes, we are able to do it. Okay, so are we able to run comfortably with the shoes? Or okay, we will discuss about these last 2 points later. But when we talk about these many things, we are able to comfortably finish all this task without any hassle, right? That means friction is actually advantageous to us. Now just put yourself, assuming that you're on a different, you're on moon. Now you might have watched in movies and all, right? What happens when a person or when they go to moon, actually they are not able to walk like how we walk. Why? They float. Why? Because since there is no gravitation, as well, since no gravitation, there is no friction. So what will happen there? If I check with all these scenarios, we are not able to walk firmly. That means we are floating. We are not able to hold things. On moon, suppose if I just leave this pen, now what will happen if I leave here? It will fall down due to gravitational force. But there what will happen if I just leave this pen? The pen starts floating, right? That means if the pen is floating, I can't even go and hold it, because if I hold it, it will try to slip from my hand, right? Because no friction. I can't even hold the paper in my hand and write, because nor I can hold the paper firmly, nor I can hold the pen firmly, because of no friction, they keep floating, right? Forget about all these things. We can't even put a nail to the wall. Of course, there is no wall, but still, these things are not possible. And when I talk about this stop and start, suppose if you just roll a ball, assume that on moon you roll a ball, the ball keeps on rolling. There is no end point for the ball, nor we can stop it, because if you go to catch it, it will slip from your hand. That means friction is advantageous to us in these many things. How? We can walk easily. Now again, that differs. Walking on the road, walking on the muddy area, walking on sand and walking in water, right? Again, different frictional forces will affect them. You can run on road easily, but you cannot run with the same pace on sand, and you cannot run with the same pace in water. Why? Because the frictional forces is more there, right? Okay, that we can discuss again. So we can walk comfortably, we can hold the things, we can write with a good grip, we can fix a nail on the wall, we can start or stop the moving object or vehicle, we can start it at an instance, we can make the matchstick ignite after striking it, right? We can construct buildings. Because there is friction, these are the advantages to us. Now apart from that, friction, I will just write it here. Because of friction we can move, because into friction is there, that is why there are grooves on the soles of the shoes. That is why we can run easily on the track. Vehicle tires have treads. That is why vehicle can move easily on the road. Now, let me come to this point. Grooves on the shoe. Not even grooves. If you take your chappals, shoes, anything, just turn it to the other side. You can see some design or some mark or some uneven pattern there. Why do you think that uneven pattern is there? So that we can walk firmly. Now, we all know what are Hawaii chappals we call, right? Usually our parents tell us, do not wear these chappals in rainy season. Why are we not supposed to wear those Hawaii chappals in rainy season? Because Hawaii chappals, if you just turn and see, it is very flat. Since it is flat, what will happen? We can slip and fall easily. Check your other shoes, whatever you have. Your school, every Saturday, or Wednesday, we are supposed to wear white color shoes, right? Why white color shoes? Because we have MD, we have drill, or we have some sports activities in our school. Because of the sports activities, we are supposed to wear that shoes because we can do it comfortably on the ground without slipping. That means grooves on the shoe soles help us to walk or run firmly, right? Vehicle tires have treads. Suppose if the vehicle tire was flat, then there are chances of skidding. Since there are treads, it is actually advantageous for us so that we can move on the road easily. So these are the advantages of friction in our day-to-day life. Then what are the disadvantages? Wear and tear of objects, shoes, parts of the machines, etc. Now, wear and tear of objects. Now, what do you mean? Let us discuss one by one. Wear and tear of shoes. Now, have you seen sometimes you walk, every day you walk for a very long distance, right? Suppose if you have taken 2 pair of shoes, one shoes what you have taken is for walking, and every day you walk, jog or run for a very long distance. That means if you have seen the sole of that shoes, that would have worn out. Why? Because of friction. Of course, that is a disadvantage. Why disadvantage? We have to buy a new shoes again, correct? Wear and tear of the objects or the machinery parts. If you have come across, you have mixer grinder, you have washing machine, so many appliances at your home. Suddenly one day they stop working, you go to the nearest appliances or place to repair it. Sometimes what those electricians will tell you or the repair person will tell you, this has worn out because of heavy usage, right? This part has worn out. Have you come across this anytime? Talk to your parents, talk to your mother if anytime she has gone for a mixer grinder repair or a washing, any repair kind of such things, where the vendors will tell you that this machine part is worn out. That is because of friction. That means machinery parts can worn out easily because of the friction. Loss to us? Yes, of course. Produces large amount of heat. Now, producing large amount of heat means you run your mixer for half an hour. What happens? Just touch and see. It is quite warm. Run your grinder for some time. You touch and see it is very hot and warm. What do we do at that point of time? We put it off and again we run it later. Because it produces large amount of heat. And what is heat? Heat is a form of energy. That means friction provides a large amount of heat. Best example is rub your palm vigorously for some time, then see there is a heat produced. If rubbing of your palm only is producing this much amount of heat, just imagine about the other machinery products which are running or heavy machinery products which will run for hours together. How much amount of heat it is providing? That means since it is providing that heat is a waste. Since heat being a form of energy, we are wasting the energy, right? That is one disadvantage of friction. Decrease in speed of the moving object. Since we know that friction can stop a moving object, so that becomes one of the disadvantage. So here we can tell friction, though it is necessary to us, but still it is a evil to us. Therefore, friction is a necessary evil. Now here, if you, for example, if a question comes in exam, how friction is a necessary evil? Explain, friction is a necessary evil, or friction is a necessary evil justified. Means you are supposed to write advantages of friction as well as disadvantages of friction to explain that it is both necessary as well evil to us, right? So we'll move on to the next one. Now since we understood the disadvantages and advantages, now let us try to understand how to increase or decrease friction. Now all of this chapter, there are few things which we also do it in our house, in our daily needs, knowingly or unknowingly, but that is somewhere we are increasing or we are reducing friction. Let us see how. Increase friction. Same again here. Sole of the shoes is grooved. Sole of the shoes is grooved because it increases the friction. Now, athlete will know better what actually is the grooves on the shoes. Now, we generally normally for jogging, for running, walking, we did not break our head much on that. But the athlete will actually need this because that gives a very good friction. So, sole of the shoes is grooved, that increases the friction. Suppose if it is again worn out, then one must buy a new shoes if he or she is a athlete. Tires are threaded. That is how we increase the friction. We understood that in advantages. Rubbing hands with mud. If you have seen a kabaddi player, sometimes what they do is they just rub their hands with the mud, right? Why do they do that? Because to increase friction. Otherwise, it will slip. Correct? See, because what is a game? What is a kabaddi game? You have to touch the opponent person, or you have to pull the opponent person to your team, or he or she should not touch the line. That is because if they rub their hands with the mud, that means you can increase the friction. Correct? So these are the different procedure or the methods how to increase friction. Now let us see how to decrease or reduce friction by lubricating, oiling and greasing. Now what do you mean by this? Now oiling, lubricating and greasing, all the hinges, machinery parts, they all are oiled, lubricated or greased so that they can run smoothly. If they run smoothly, that means they will not produce much heat, and it can, without sound they run, right? Now basic simple thing, hinges of our doors, sometimes we oil it or we grease it or we lubricate it because it is making the correct sound. We sometimes lubricate the hinges of the gate, hinges of our doors, etc. You might have seen all these things. Normal, if you don't have any lubricating oil, any oil what you have at your home, we lubricate that. Sometimes even the locks, if it is exposed to rain or water or something, you cannot open the lock with a key. What do we do is, overnight we just put few drops of oil in that lock hole. Next day morning, if you want to open the lock, we can open it very easily because you've just oiled it. That means those machine parts, you've just loosened them, right? So we can reduce friction by lubricating, oiling as well as greasing. This everybody must be knowing. Sprinkling powder on the carom board. Why do we sprinkle powder on the carom board? Now again there, by accidentally if you sprinkle more powder, the pawns on the carom board just rush or slide like anything, right? So we sprinkle powder for the easy movement that reduces the friction. So these are few things how to increase and how to decrease the friction. Now since we understood about reducing friction, we should also know about a bit about rolling friction here in this scenario. Now we already understood what is a rolling friction and type of friction, right? But here we will understand about this is how wheels reduce friction. Now wheels, it can be even your tire wheels, it can be the wheels under your chair, anything. How do they reduce friction? Because they come under rolling friction. What is rolling friction? The force of friction that acts between an object rolling over surface of another object. True, right? Suppose if I have wheels under my chair, so those wheels are rolling under another subject, another surface, that is nothing but floor. But how do they reduce friction? They are actually, wheels or whatever we can say, they are used in the parts of the machine. Now, how are wheels used in the parts of the machine? That we cannot see. They are not the type of wheels we are talking about, but they are nothing but ball bearings. Now, what is this ball bearings? The picture is given in your book. It will be a round circular thing, right? In this, there are small ball bearings, like small sphere kind of things. Those are ball bearings. What do ball bearings do? Ball bearings are used in fans and bicycles to reduce friction. Now simple, how do this rolling friction or how do wheels will reduce friction? We understood, right? Because we can slide it or move it very easily. They slide, along with sliding, they also roll. Similarly, they are used in parts of the machine like fans and bicycles to reduce friction. So here we understood some details about friction, that is, friction is a necessary evil, how it is advantageous to us, how it is disadvantageous to us, that is evil to us, how to increase or how to decrease the friction. So in today's class, whatever we have studied, if you have any doubt in this, you can call on the same day of the video set. In tomorrow's class, the last part, we will be studying about fluid friction. Thank you.